Así no se hacen las cosas.
La primera para ti.
Aquí.
Sí, pero...
Aquí está la traducción en inglés.
Pues si me habla en alemán, ¿no?
So, welcome, Dani Carvajal. We can start with the first question.
Hola, Dani. Buenas tardes, Edu Castelao del Mundo.
Hi, Dani. Good evening. I wanted to ask you, you've been in a dressing room like Real Madrid, and you are used to seeing, perceiving, smelling how a dressing room feels after such a huge game as tomorrow, Champions League finals, etc. So what do you see in the dressing room? What do you see in the Spanish dressing room on a day like today? Well, I have a great feeling. I can see all my teammates are really relaxed, with plenty of confidence in the session today, knowing how important the game is tomorrow. We are facing a fantastic opponent. We know we have to play a great game if we want to beat them. But I can see a confident team, an energetic team, and a team that is full of enthusiasm. Here in Germany, we've been talking about how many years have passed in which Germany hasn't been able to beat Spain in a big tournament. I would like to know your opinion. Is that sort of out of chance? Can you find any particular explanation for which Germany has been struggling to beat Spain? Well, I don't know. There is an explanation or a very clear nuance of why they haven't been able to beat us. We're talking about very equal games. Two countries with great squads are going to face. And in the last few years, maybe they haven't been able to beat us. But in previous times, I'm sure Germany has been able to beat Spain before, right? So it's 50-50 games in which details will make all the difference.
Guten Abend. Die
Spanish team and the Spanish players are very confident. José Lu, who said sending Toni Kroos to retirement. Pedri, who talked about Rudiger. What's behind this? Do you want to make Germany nervous or scared?
Guten Abend.
Well, those kind of words, José Lu's words, are obviously in a joking tone. We obviously want to beat Germany, and that would mean, of course, Kroos's retirement. That's nothing really special. And as for Pedri's pinching by Rudiger, well, it's something else that maybe the referee will have to value. But if it's all, of course, in a very professional tone and a very good atmosphere, I think there is mutual respect with Germany and Spain, and I think we will going to show that on the pitch. It's going to be a beautiful match. Every football fan will be watching, will be willing to watch that, and I hope we will win in the end.
Nel partito contro Georgia, quando ibais perdiendo 1-0, hiciste un gesto a tus compañeros.
In the game against Georgia, when you were losing 1-0, you made this gesture to your teammates asking for calmness because the pressure from the fans was really high. And now the rival is Germany, the host team. Do you expect a higher pressure or even stronger? So, and what do you think Spain must do in order to overcome it? Well, Georgia's goal, or after Georgia's goal, we struggled. We had the first few minutes in the whole of the Euro. We lost a few balls, etc. That was quite unusual, and I just wanted to tell my players that we couldn't go out this way. We keep going this way. Tomorrow we're playing the host country, the host nation, of course, and we are going to see a very kind of hot atmosphere, but we will try to get our job done. We will feel the support of all the Spanish fans that come to the field, and of course we will give our most for them and for the ones watching from their homes. I wanted to ask you how much is mentality or mindset important in a game like this? I'm sure you're going to suffer at some point or struggle at some point. Can you see how much mentality is important? Well, in games like this, you need to be able to suffer when your opponents are playing better or are near a better moment, and you need to be able to keep the game in control when you are in a better moment. So we need to capitalize on our chances and concede as little chances as possible against us. Up until now, you have generated excitement, motivation, and praise from everybody. Do you think this team is ready to lose? Do they know how to lose? Yes, of course. We face every game with our feet on the ground in a very humble way, but what we don't know how to do is not to give our all on the pitch. That is not negotiable for us. We're going to give it all on the pitch, give it all for the shirts, for the Spain shirts. It's not only about the only kind of success is not only when you win. Sometimes in your club, do you try to encourage your teammates as you do with Real Madrid? Would you take that role as you like you do with Real Madrid and say a few words to them before jumping on the pitch? Well, if I have to, I will do it. Same as Rodri, Alvaro, Joselu, Nacho, maybe the most experienced players, the players that are a bit more used to playing this sort of matches, will try and convey that sort of confidence, and so that our teammates feel a bit better. And of course, we will try to motivate our teammates even more, if possible. In the last few hours, we have heard some statement from Jens Lehmann saying that Spain was an inexperienced youth team. I don't know if you have talked about it in the dressing room, if you know, or if you want to have... No, well, we don't really take anybody's words as a reference. I think Toni Kroos, in this case, he defined it perfectly, I've been doing my math, and you started pre-season last year at this. You have been competing for a whole year because you started your pre-season for Real Madrid at this practically at this time. So, do you want to make any observation about the amount of matches that you've been playing, that footballers have been playing? Well, as far as motivation is concerned, I have more energy than ever, and I'm looking forward to the match tomorrow more than ever. But in the light of what is coming next year, and of course we will try and go as far as we can in the Euros, but looking towards next year with a Euro Cup, with a Super Cup away from Spain, with a Club World Cup, etc., where we will play a lot of games. Well, the schedule is impossible. The game schedule is impossible, and the level of the games is going to go down because it's practically impossible for the players to maintain the level for a whole year if they have to play every 3 months. That's impossible. You're going to face players that you know really well, like Musiala, Joshua Kimmich, Emmanuel Neuer. You faced them in the Champions League the last spring. What do you think are their strengths, are their weaknesses? What can Spain do in order to go through to the semi-final? Well, man by man, Germany has World Cup, quality players, world-class fast players. They have really fast wingers. They have very tough centre backs, people who like to have the ball on their feet in midfield. We have similar qualities to them, but it's going to depend on if they will wait for us or if they will press up high or not. That is going to define the way we can get closer to their goal and maybe the pace of the game. And like I said before, in the end, this type of games, it's just it's all about the details and how clinical you are in front of goal. Tomorrow it's a huge game for Germany and for Spain, and especially for Toni Kroos. I would like to know that as a teammate, you have spoken, or if you have exchanged messages, and if you like to send him a message. Well, I haven't spoken to him yet. I hope I will see him tomorrow before and after the game. Like Luis said before, I wish you could tie him, you know, and to prevent him from playing. Of course, I'm joking. Tomorrow, it's a very special game for Toni. He's been living in our country for over a decade. It's his last major championship. He will try to enjoy his most, and of course, we will try to prevent that. Going back to Kroos and Rudiger, I don't know if you as a teammate, I don't know if you will tell anything to Morata, say anything to Morata or Rodri about how to prevent something, you know, talking about maybe their potential weaknesses, since you will know as your teammates. I don't know if you talk about that in the dressing room. Well, at this level, or how exposed we are in every match, I think both teams have analyzed the other. We know perfectly well the strengths and the weaknesses. There will be no surprise, whatever I can say. I don't know. You know, so of course I will try and give them a little bit of positive information for them, for our players, and of course I will hope it will, you know, it will serve its purpose. In the last three tournaments, you have fallen in the penalties, in the penalty shootout, but the last club tournament you won with a goal from you from the penalty spot. I don't know if you've been training that, if you've been thinking about that. Well, there are specialists from the penalty spots, but at this point, the confidence level is what can define a penalty shootout. Of course, against Manchester City, there were three defenders, Nacho, Rudiger and Lucas took penalties there. So with confidence and with energy, I think any player at this level is able to score a penalty.
Hello, I'm Trond from WG in Norway. I have a question about Lamine Yamal. He's 16 and will play his game number 58 since August last year, tomorrow. Are you worried that that's too much for a young boy like him, especially given the injury problems with Gavi and Pedri and Ansu Fati?
Well, I think that the question is not aimed at Lamine Yamal only. It would be about every international footballer who plays for a club with three different competitions. I think UEFA and FIFA and the different country associations, I think they should reconsider that and think that a player cannot play about 60 games a year. So that will be it. Have a good evening.